Hello, beautiful muses, and welcome to CosmoMuse Tarot. Today we are going to channel a message from the universe on something you need a pep talk about. This is a timeless reading, but I'm definitely feeling inspired by being in the midst of winter, that kind of coming into the end of winter time when there can still be a certain sort of uncertainty that spring will bring the blooms we hope it will, and just trusting in that incubation process that winter has. So don't worry if you're here when it's not winter season where you are. It's just inspired by this moment for me. So we have 4 piles for you, and just really pay attention to what's drawing you in, because the theme of the message is not going to be determined by these cards. I will incorporate them into the reading, but the main message will be determined by some oracle cards. So that being said, let's look at the 4 piles. So pile 1, we have Page of Swords. Pile 2, we have Oppression. Pile 3, 8 of Wands. And pile 4, 6 of Wands. So for those of you that like the breath work I do, we'll do that right now. So place your feet firmly on the ground. Feel its stability under you, holding you. Just take like a relaxing breath to kind of calm your nervous system. And now take a deep breath in. Suck this oxygen up, up, up toward the midpoint between your brows. Suck in a little bit more air, adding pressure there, and then with an out loud exhale, release it all, opening your crown chakra as well. Okay, if you need more time to do more breaths or your own process, or just ask the cards which one is the right message and pile for you, you can pause here. Otherwise, timestamps will be in the descriptions and you can jump to your pile and reading. All right, I'll see you guys in your piles. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading, all about what it is you need a pep talk about from the universe. And this is sort of the concept for this, and where I'm coming from, why you need a pep talk here, is there's something in incubation that's a period, especially when this is around intangible things and not like an actual literal physical baby, like it's more of a conceptual type of thing that's in incubation, or a hope that's in incubation. It can be really hard to trust that this incubation period is leading to an actual visible reality, with this a manifestation coming through here. And so the point of this reading is to touch into something that is very much so coming, going to have its spring moment and feel present in your life, but there's just maybe like another month of incubation. And so we're going to channel a message from the universe to help sort of give you some encouragement, maybe some guidance as well, and just, some words of encouragement to stay plugged in and to trust, type of thing. So for you, this pile, that thing that is an incubation that the universe wants to come forward and give you a pep talk about, is something more in the intellectual or relational domain, and something specifically within that is either has the capacity to put you in the spotlight, either through leadership or creativity, or that has a certain productivity associated with it, a certain usefulness about it. So that could be a whole bunch of things, and I want to leave it sort of open-ended that way, just so that there's room for everyone to make their own associations of what that is for them. But think about either something in the relational domain or something in the intellectual domain that, has the capacity to really have some leadership capacity and some usefulness to it. And so what the universe wants to give you a pep talk about is in this final, I'm saying that there's like a month left of this incubation. That's where I'm coming from because of the season I'm in that's inspiring me. The way to really stay plugged into and give the best energy into this thing that's incubating for you is to stay plugged into a sensation of happiness, and specifically through movement. And movement that makes you feel happy, physical activity that makes you feel happy. There's something about that that is really feeding, protecting, nourishing, helping to bring a more developed consciousness into this thing that's incubating for you. So, and the happiness card says, I am aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. So that's a sensation and an emotion that you can start to become more deeply aware of, and do things to try and cultivate that sensation within you to know that you're on the right path. And more guidance from Spirit is saying that there might be something about physical activity that feels good to you, that makes you happy, that helps you plug into this. So just like an extra, even further step of guidance here. So I love that these two cards came out kind of really talking about physical activity in different ways, which gives it so much more context. Because before this came out, I might have been inclined to sense that this was talking about exercise. But then when the grass came out and it says, embrace the power of dance and movement to access your highest guidance, which made me like, it changed the context completely of like, oh, this isn't exactly about like exercise or fitness. This is about moving in ways that feel creative, that make you feel happy. For some of you that might be exercise, but for a lot of you that might be putting on some music when you're getting ready in the morning or in the shower or making dinner or whatever, and just moving, just feeling good in your body and feeling alive and feeling that movement that feels good bring happiness into you, that gives you more hope, that allows you to give yourself your own pep talk of like, yes, something's coming with this. There is something on the way. It is manifesting. And this isn't just a pep talk from the universe. The universe is saying this is where you can tap into your highest guidance, where a process you can use to tap into your own ability to find trust and belief and your own capacity to give yourself your own pep talk. So I love the advice and guidance and pep talk coming through was so in here, like so pragmatic and like, well, here's, I'm going to initially give you a pep talk, but you have all the tools to do, like, continue on and do this for yourself as well. So I found that very useful. Okay, let's look at some tarot cards to end it. So this was the card you picked, and I love that it's Page of Swords, which means like some new kind of, it's very similar connotation to the subject matter that universe wanted to come through and give a pep talk on. This is all about some sort of new idea, new energy in the relational domain, potentially the ability to put out messages of some sort as well. So maybe a little bit more context here of like maybe this intellectual or relational thing is about some sort of new kind of message that you're downloading and incubating and figuring out how to articulate to turn into a message to put in the spotlight or to create some sort of system around. Okay, let's see, we've got 2 cards that came out. 8 of Swords, yeah, okay, and 10 of Swords. So yeah, this is very good advice for how you might be feeling right now about all of this. So let's get 2 more. 6 of Cups and 5 of Crystals. Okay. Yeah, okay, so the extra things to come in here of guidance and pep talk, this is really where the universe can give you a very specific pep talk beyond what you can do for yourself, is things you may feel. This is all very mind-centered, and I love the universe is giving you some physical-centered things to do to kind of maybe bring you out of mind, because in your mind right now, it seems as though you're feeling like you're hitting a wall, as well as somewhat trapped, like not knowing how to take something forward and feeling like fried by it, as well as very anxious, like at a height of anxiety here. And so what I'm going to say is just like, listen to this physical thing. There's nothing to worry about. This thing in incubation will come out and birth and have some sort of life and beauty, which is why the universe wants to give you a message of a pep talk right now. So to do whatever you can to put yourself back in your body in a way that feels fun. And this is what you need to do to get out of your head, because none of the answers lie in your head at the moment around this thing. What lies there is anxiety and looping and a sense of feeling like there's no way forward, and that's just not the truth. That's your mind making up narratives. And so you need to do everything you can for the next month to just drop into your body in ways that make you feel fun and happy, and that make you feel good in the physical realm. Really draw some attention out of your mind, because it's not helping you right now. So yeah, it's just sort of like trust that it's coming, just like a baby would come. There's nothing you can do with your mind to make that happen any better, any faster, any, whatever, by sitting and ruminating and worrying. That only adds to stress hormones into what's incubating. You just need to do things that make you feel embodied in a way that feels fun, and that makes you feel more alive in your body. And then the next 2 cards here, we've got 6 of Cups. So this is giving me some context, and 5 of Crystals of maybe where this anxiety and some certain narratives might be coming in that are looping and getting you a little bit tripped up and doubtful about whatever you associate this to in your life, like coming into fruition, is things from your past cycles, past histories, even specifically from as early as childhood, have had a lot of lack association around whatever you think this is for you, this intellectual idea, this message you're developing, this relational aspect that you're trying to make fruitful, whatever it is for you, whatever your association is to this. Certain patterning from your childhood imprinted some lack mentality and lack values here. And the universe wants to come in and say that you've done the reprogramming, like the reprogramming necessary to go beyond this, to make this thing that is going to come into fruition flourish. And it will, and you just need to get out of your own way. And so this is just context of like where this anxiety and mental looping is coming from, but the same advice still applies. The way to move past that and the way to not get stuck in that and let it torment you and fill you with doubt is to really drop into embodiment, into physical activity in ways that make you feel happy, and following that happiness as showing that you're on the right path. So yeah, hopefully this helps you to move forward toward this thing that is coming, that is going to manifest in your life, which is the only reason the universe is giving you a pep talk, is that it is going to manifest, and what to move toward to just feel more trust about this and to feel good about it. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you, pile one. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up or little comments, and definitely subscribe if you have not yet. All right, I'll see you in more readings. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading all about a pep talk from the universe. And my intention and the concept around this is specifically it's coming to give you a pep talk because this is something that has like a month left in incubation. And incubation periods are really hard to trust, especially if it's not, something that's like a literal baby that's incubating, or a literal physical thing that's incubating. When it's something that's a little bit more abstract or conceptual, it's hard to trust that that is going to manifest. And so this is something that is on its path to manifesting, and why the universe wants to come in and give you some messages to move you out of like uncertainty and into a greater sense of trust and perseverance with this. So to get the kind of subject matter of what this is, I'm using this moon card, looking at the phase and the element, and which leaves this a little bit vague and open, because I want this to be able to reach each of you with what resonates to you, and be able to name your thing a little bit more specifically than I would, just to make it more unique to you. So for this pile, generally this has something to do, what's in incubation for you and is en route, everything is like looking great, to manifesting, to coming out and actually being something that's present in your life, is something in the realm of stepping into the spotlight with something, either through leadership or creativity, but also something that's very materially based. So there's a pragmatism here. So just some ideas, and certainly whatever associations you are making, that is correct for you. I'm just giving some general thoughts here of like, maybe you're developing some sort of creative skill that's, has a physical representation, like sculpting, or maybe you're developing a skill of understanding how to work with certain resources or finances, but there's something kind of materially based here that you're incubating, that you are intending and hoping will give you a little bit more kind of a little bit either of a line, somewhat of the limelight, or a deep sense of service and usefulness in the world, but definitely this thing that is incubating that you probably have some doubt about right now or some anxiety about right now. It's developing nicely in that incubation period, and it is, well on its way. So just some guidance from Spirit about how to move from a sense of either doubt or uncertainty towards trust. Is it saying that your intuition knows? Your intuition is very strong. So anytime you're doubting, you're probably listening too much to the outer world or outer chatter or other people's voices or societal things, or comparing in some way, anything that's external to you. If you start placing expectations or doubts about this through kind of input you're getting from the outer world, it's scrambling the message for you and throwing you into, greater doubt and uncertainty about it. And so when you're feeling that uncertainty, if you can turn back into your inner world, into a quiet space within, a quiet space without, and really just feeling and listening inward, you will have like a really great sense with your intuition that everything is fine, that this is incubating nicely, it is coming, it is going to manifest, you're on the right track, everything is where it should be, timing will be totally fine, and it will come right when it's supposed to come. So this is telling you to turn to your intuition, and I love that it has a master number associated with it. So to me, not only will your intuition sort of calm any fears or doubts from too much external stimuli and input, but that surety and trust you will find when you turn more inward will also bring you sort of a feeling within, a calm within that doesn't have a charge to it at all. It's not associated with any excitement, fear, joy, anger. It's not associated with any emotion other than just it's neutral, that what is coming will be very, very solidly built as well. It will have very solid foundations and very useful to the world overall. So more advice and guidance from Spirit and the universe here. You've got the relationships card. It says, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. And I think this is even like adding on to what's already been said about not paying so much attention to external stimuli and input and forces and comparisons, but that when you do surround yourself with people that have your higher good in mind and who are great supporters, it also helps to shut out any kind of negatively charged associations and input. So this is saying to me that it is it's obviously we have our lives to live, but the more that you surround yourself with really encouraging type of people in your life, the more that outside effect, sensitivity to the outside world toward enhancing some doubt in yourself will be diminished too. It's almost like there are people around you that can screen some of that as well for you. Like it's like your intuition is the first, like the deepest resource and defense shield you have against the doubt and the fear, but you also have this other shield available to you of people who are really great supporters and have your highest good in mind. So it's like another line of defense here. And then the white swan coming through saying the power of divine grace is within you. And I just completely relate that back to your intuition. It's like, you know, and when you turn inside and you get quiet and you check in inside of yourself, I think, again, like a very neutral, uncharged anything, you just like that, just settled, simple, yeah, I know. Yeah, this is coming, I know. So whatever, you know, I know I've left it vague in terms of determining what this is for you, but sometimes things in incubation are vague in general. But hopefully through this, you've really identified what it is you may have some fear or doubt about and the guidance needed to kind of power through, because this is all about something in a month's time that will kind of start to be more present and sort of visible and a little more tangible in your world. Okay, we're going to look at some tarot cards to kind of see where within you certain fear or doubt might be coming from. So to be able to kind of just add some context here and any messages from spirit about that as well. So we've got oppression, Nine of Swords, Starseed, Two of Cups, and Ace of Wands. Oh, these cards are hard to manage. Okay. Yes, I see a lot here and feel a lot here. Okay, so whatever you're associating with this incubation in your life, there's absolutely some anxiety here and some fear here. I think you've gone through a transformation in your life that has sort of expanded the way your life force is moving within you, and like a new empowerment has been established and found within you. And so that's opened you up to believing in yourself in new ways. But suddenly that believing in yourself is trying to manifest new things, this, and specifically this thing that's in incubation. And suddenly you start remembering and getting dragged into like old programming, and the fear cycles and narratives start ramping up again. And there's a lot of anxiety associated with who you were before a certain transformation that's taken place. And so what I'm feeling is these three cards that came after this are just saying like, this is just so, it's understandable to drop into old programming and old fears and old narratives. But you need to, like, this is like confirmation coming through so strongly to believe in the new sense of, you know, the transformations you've gone through that have up-leveled you, that have empowered you, to believe in that confirmation that this is anchored into you. This isn't something that's going to slip away. And the thing that is incubating is very much so coming from that place. And so just this pep talk of like, you need to start believing more and more in that, and like really trusting that manifestations from this more empowered sense of self are on the way. And the fears you have right now are baseless, but they are understandable because they are old programming. But the more you can just believe and take this confirmation from Spirit that what's on the way is from this more empowered self that is just here to stay, the more you'll be able to kind of breathe a sigh of relief, drop into some trust. And I don't even feel like I have to deep dive into these past cards. I feel like it's just this conglomerate of energy coming through that's just saying like, what I will say instead of focusing on each individual card is like, what is coming through, the new empowerment that you've did so much work and transformation to establish and anchor into you is unbelievably beautiful, unbelievably powerful, unbelievably has fully helped you find your alignment of mind, body, soul, which helps you to find your power and your ability to move forward. And the brilliance and creativity arising from this, and your ability to be connected to your intuition in such a deep way that then opens you up to the divine in such a deep way is just like, it's mind-boggling. Whatever work you've been doing the last year or two is just like really anchored into what's incubating, and Spirit or like universe, whatever energy is here, is just saying like, whew, take a breath, because it's going to be beautiful. It's magical what is coming, and it's really going to solidify and prove to you in the external world all of that deep work you've done internally. So wow, all I can say is congratulations. Like, this is huge, and that the fears you have are baseless. The fears you have are old programming that, it's understandable that it will pop up. But I think that once this comes into manifestation, you'll be able to eradicate that old programming. I do get the sense that, even all the steps you're gonna, these tools universe has shown you about intuition and supportive people and being connected to the divine and just trusting this transformation and empowerment you've done. I just still get the sense that this old programming is going to pop up here and there over the next month. And it's just old programming. And if you can just try to look at it that way and not get charged about it, when this manifests, when this incubation sort of births, this will fully disappear. And so it's just sort of a confirmation and just kind of like a sweet note coming from the universe of like, it's okay. Our old programming takes time to detangle from, and this will get detangled from you, even though it will, bubble up a little over the next month. But there are some tools to help with that. But just be compassionate with yourself, because this is old programming and it takes time to rewire that. But yeah, as soon as this comes to fruition, I think it's just going to completely dissolve that programming. So gorgeous. Nothing left to say here. So good luck over the next month, and I would love to hear if you remember to come back in a month or two to give feedback on what took place or what manifested or whatever you wanted to say. It'd be interesting to hear about this pile. All right, this is where I'm going to end your reading. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up or a little comment, and definitely subscriptions if you are not yet subscribed. All right, I will see you in other readings. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading, all about a message from the universe that is a pep talk. And a little bit more context around this and where this reading is inspired from and about is sort of like the sense I had when I designed this reading is there's things in incubation right now for you that have maybe like a month to go. And when things are in incubation, there can be a lot of uncertainty and doubt about this being something that's real or actual, that's going to manifest, in these questions of like, am I just imagining things and being ridiculous, or is this something that's actually kind of coalescing and organizing that is going to come to fruition, come into, into my visible reality. And so whatever this reading comes through to give you a pep talk about, the purpose is to say that, yes, this is real. And here are a pep talk, but also some guidance from the universe of how to kind of find that trust and perseverance and belief. So for you guys, and I'm keeping what this is a little bit abstract so that you all have room to really specifically name for you what this might be. But there is an energy around it that can help you to kind of identify what that might be, help you to latch on to the thing it is that you might have some doubt and uncertainty about. So for you, there's something here, and it's interesting because the first two piles, it took me a minute to feel into it and kind of let some messages download, but it was like, I got all the cards out one by one. Maybe, there were some fragments, but as soon as like they were all out and I looked at them, it was like instant, like, oh, I know what this is. So for you, I'm going to be maybe a little more specific than I have been in the other piles. You had two of these cards come out. One was hiding under the other, and the other piles I've only done one card, and I think maybe that's where there was like a little bit more of a stronger message from Spirit of like, I don't know if it's because you need more of a pep talk or because the people coming to this pile, it can be a little more specific, or that I just needed more context. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But yeah, immediately it was like, oh, there's something, it's like, either you already have a romantic partner in your life or you desire one. And either way, whether you have one, if you have one, there's some deep hope and kind of inner incubation type of work taking place of like how to really expand your guys' life, how to, like, you're growing out of the confines you've been in and really feeling this energy that you're supposed to be expanding, but there's maybe some doubt or fear because in the tangible world it's been hard to grasp anything there. And if you're single, this may be that you're really hoping to expand your life by coming into, like, you're really ready to come into a really much more serious relationship, what I'm saying is like a committed relationship, because something about that will feel like you are expanding life as it is for you right now. And there may be this sense around you of like, this is coming in, I feel it, but like, I've seen no like real graspable proof or evidence of that, but there's this sense that like something's happening there. So either wherever you are in this is the universe coming through to say, trust those those inner stirrings, those feelings, there is something coalescing here, and to trust this. And so it's coming through with a few pieces of advice here, that any kind of creativity you can engage in daily. I don't know why I just heard daily. Nothing in here says daily, but it was like, I said creativity, and then it was like this voice of like daily, like make sure you say daily. So daily creativity, which could be, I mean, just simple. It's not like you have to create something to put out in the world. This is just about getting your connection to your vitality, connection to co-creating with the universe and the seasons and the energies, and just feeling things moving in you, and feeling sort of alive in certain ways. There's some, so even if it's like, in whatever way that you're creative, maybe you enjoy writing, maybe you enjoy drawing, maybe you enjoy cooking, maybe you enjoy, there's so many things, planting seeds for a spring garden, maybe you enjoy, whatever it is that sort of feels like an outlet for you. What are just little, even if 5 minutes a day, what's something you can do every day to just kind of plug into that? There's something about that plugs you back into some trust and some perseverance here, and some kind of belief, and draws you out of any uncertainty. And I think also it draws you into peace. Yeah, there's like, I'm feeling a thread connecting these two. So you're doing little creative things every day, and that might even just be putting on some music when you get ready, and just sort of softly moving around to that. Whatever it is for you, something little you can do every day. It just gets something going. It helps you to move away from the energy of doubt and towards an energy of peace. And this card says, I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. And I love that leading to this, like something about just a little bit of creativity each day. It moves you away from doubt and into, releasing negative charges and opening up to love and and like feeling that connection to possibility, opening you up to just a peaceful sense around this, and not this kind of like, am I crazy, or am I trying, and away from like, I am getting with peacefulness when I drop into that sensation. Like the message that came immediately too is, I'm getting so many immediate messages for you, like stop pushing and stop trying to grasp things, like just drop into creativity, flow, which will bring this sense of like an openness that's peaceful and loving. And that's just like all you need to do right now. And then we have the duck message as well from the feather messenger. It says, find comfort in balance in simple ways. It's funny, I actually really did not read this. You have support all around you. And that's, like that was the sensation I got with creativity, was like, make this simple. This is just simple. Find comfort and balance. In very simple I'll add that to this, in very simple creative ways, which opens you toward peace and discharges doubt, and opens your awareness to support that is around you, which is so beautiful. I do think of ducks and like family. There may be a lot of either soul type of family or literal family around you that can be also very comforting, and maybe have a energy of playfulness around them right now as well. There might be something about that also just really settles, like, a funness and a peacefulness within, that's all just you know, it's funny because some of these things you wouldn't think are like this direct relationship to you trying to expand your life with a partner or by coming into a partnership. But it's funny, some of the things, some of our input isn't always going directly to where, or some of our output and efforts don't always go directly to, you know, you'd think that this would lead to like finding your creative spark in a bigger way or something, but like this output is leading toward something about expanding life with or through relationships. So yeah, it's like what we do to expand things isn't always what we would think we should do to expand things. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so we are going to look at some tarot cards now to get a little bit of context of where you may be at this moment, and so more, just more pep talk that can come through because of that. So we've got the Eight of Wands, which is actually a really positive card, and this is the card you chose. It is this, and I think, you know, I think why the immediate downloads are hitting me for you guys is I think you are a little bit more trusting maybe than some of the other piles with this. Like, this gives me the sense that there are these quickening feelings, even if they are within and not like visible evidence. There are these, inner quickening feelings that keep you hopeful. So I do feel like some hopefulness around you already, which is great, but maybe you just need extra confirmation. Okay, Serenity. So in line with peace. Yeah, I mean, I think you guys are somewhat calm. I really think because the immediacy of the messages, like you're just looking for that little bump of confirmation, but you kind of already know this. Maybe there's some little specific things that are helpful too. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. I could definitely see this as like all of the rhythms that you are putting in place right now to cultivate like practice and refinement and skillfulness in certain things in your life. It's all aiding. This is a positive thing to be doing. It's aiding you to be able to tap into some peace and some little creativity and some trust and belief in things coming here. Three of Cups. Okay, so that's one thing we want to address. Let's see, one more card. Ooh. And the High Priestess. Okay, so there are a couple things we want to address here. I was sort of like, I don't know why you're even here. Like, you kind of know what's going on, but now I'm like, okay, there's some pep talking to be done. Okay, so, and it's pretty simple. This directly relates to the duck to me. There are absolutely people in your life right now, such as those that feel close enough like they are your soul family or that they're literal family, that are very supportive and there for you if you tap into them. But there's also people around you right now, and I'm not saying they're bad people or that they're necessarily people you need to like draw new boundaries with, but there is something over the next month where you need to be really, really careful about the people you surround yourself with, because not everyone that you normally surround yourself with is healthy for what's going on with this incubation. And I think you would know right away who those people are. And there's nothing wrong with them or bad about them being in your life. But right now, for the next month, you might need just a little bit of space for some reason. So really feel into the different people in your life that you're close to. Who feels supportive in relation to this thing incubating in you about expanding your life with or through relationships? And who do you get positive charges when you think about that incubation? And then you think about people in your life, who brings a positive charge and who brings a negative charge. And it's just directly related to this specific thing. It's not a holistic thing about them or them in your life. There's just something about this thing. Anytime we have stuff in incubation, it needs protection and it needs very positively charged energy around it, peace and support. And there's just some people around you that could be very close and could have that family feeling that might bring they're not going to get in the way of this happening, but they will get in the way of you being able to find hope and trust versus doubt and uncertainty. So just be really careful for the next month about who you put yourself around. And on top of that, these specific people will really affect the way you trust your own intuition. Because I think I felt so much about that. I think you know this a little better than some of the other groups and you feel it a little better, but there's some people that you are close to right now that are, just blocking your own intuition and drawing some doubt towards you here. It's not going to affect this manifesting, but it will affect your I want to say just mental health in general over the next month. So, and this is just, a month of being really, really, really protective and conscientious about the right people around you. And then also, connecting to these little simple creative things each day and cultivating a lot of peace and spaciousness and trust in yourself and trust in this something coalescing here that I think will be really beautiful. And I think that. And I think when it does come, you're already feeling those quickenings internally, but I think externally, when this does kind of manifest more into your reality, I think it's also going to be incredibly fast. But in a way where it's like you're ready for it, you're prepared for it, and you feel very aligned and peaceful about it when it comes. But there is something about both, who you're surrounding yourself with and who you're telling anything about these hopes and wishes and incubations to. It's just something to really protect from certain people right now. Not because they're bad, but there's it's not the right energy. Yeah. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope this resonated. It was very, so much came so fast in this. So, anyway, if this did resonate, I always appreciate a thumbs up, and a little comment is always fun to read as well. And definitely subscribe if you're not yet. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading all about a pep talk from the universe. And I have a little more context to give here of what's inspiring this, where this concept is coming from to better understand the reading. As I was coming up with this reading, I was just feeling this sense of that sensation you have when things are in incubation, and before they kind of come into fruition in a way that is like real in our reality, the kind of uncertainty and doubt that can be attached to, like, is this real? Am I making things up? Or is this thing that feels like it's coalescing actually going to coalesce and be something, or am I just, off in fantasy land here? And so the purpose of this reading is to take that sensation about something specific that is real, that is coalescing, and the universe giving you a pep talk to help move you from uncertainty and doubt into trust and belief. On top of that, the sense I got, I did want to put a time frame on this, is that there's a month left in this incubation. So this is a pep talk for to apply to your next month around something that is going to come into fruition, and exactly how to move from doubt and uncertainty towards trust here. Okay, and so for you guys, the message that it took me a minute to sit with these and sort of open up to any downloads that could come in. It was a little nebulous at first, but then as soon as it did, it was like a very strong message, and it almost sort of brought a little tear to my eye, because I think it's something you really need to know. So this might take on a slightly different tone than the other three piles, because I think this is a little bit more about a message of it being okay for you to be incubating and manifesting what's about to come, rather than believing that it is coming. I think you need a message about that it's okay what's coming. And why that's maybe slightly charged for you. So I think whatever is coming, there's something about you that is already incredibly strong, that has a lot of mastery, a lot of authority, and a lot of capacity for positional authority, something more outer world authority that is very, it could be materially centered, like literally a job, or it could be just a mastery you have in general, maybe in the physical realm. So whether that's around finances or some sort of physical skill set you have, but something kind of 3D centered here, that you've spent just an immense amount of time really focusing, like limiting aspects of your life to reach and focus and come into mastery here. And there's something that is an incubation around this that is, it's going to be really beautiful. And I don't know that you have the sense of that. And that's also partially what this message is about, is like, you're a master, and that mastery constantly incubates new things. I think you trust that, but I think you need a little bit more insight about what's coming, and a little bit of a message about why this might feel charged to you right now, to kind of move past that charge. I don't know if there are certain people in your life right now, societal pressures, or a certain age you're coming into where you're feeling like you've missed out on certain things by focusing so deeply on a specific thing, that maybe you didn't add in enough variety of priorities in your life, and like you're maybe missing out on certain things. And maybe feeling like, have I just gone down an incredibly sort of selfish path in life? And the message that universe wants to bring is no. Don't think that way. There are always reasons, if we've been pulled into that much focus, for this. And something that you need to know about what is going to manifest from this new incubation, because I think you're just so used to being able to easily do this that you don't always think about what is coming. And what is coming this round is like, it's going to completely eradicate those feelings within you of like, have I missed out? Because what's coming, whatever manifests from this mastery you have in this round, is going to be like a gift to the world. It is going to expand your world as well in very unexpected ways. But suddenly it's sort of like whatever manifests this time is not wholly about just holding responsibility and authority. It's like it's taken on another level of consciousness, and that consciousness being very much so anchored in love and anchored in service and anchored in offering. And so this mastery is now coming in with a much more compassionate tone than you've typically manifested through this mastery before. And it's going to eradicate any regrets you've held about not prioritizing a few other things. And it's going to put you into deep connection to your service and your capacity to give to the greater world from this loving place. And it's going to open your life up to just like really, really special things that just, yeah, totally plug you into anything you feel like you've missed in different ways. Your life gets opened up to that anyway. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna let that just sit there because I think it could come in so many different forms. I don't want to narrow that down by giving an example for some reason, whatever. So but just know whatever you manifest with this mastery this round, because I think you've manifested many things with this mastery, but this round of whatever you're manifesting with this mastery is just, it's an absolute gift to the world. And then you receive gifts back that help other priorities already be manifested, if that makes sense. I will give one example, and I don't think this necessarily applies to anyone in this that's coming to this reading, and maybe that's why it's okay to give this example of like maybe it's now too late in your life to have kids, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I really should have done that, and I was just so focused and maybe didn't think I wanted them, but now I can't, and kind of regret not doing that. But then suddenly whatever this kind of immense gift you bring to the world through your mastery, and it now being attached to service and love, just like it opens you up to helping certain people that suddenly like make you a godparent to their child, or you form like a really, really strong bond or something to someone you've helped that feels that way. So it still manifests in your life, it's just in a very different way. Okay, let's look at your tarot cards. Okay, and these are kind of maybe where you're feeling things right now. So some other knowings of what pep talk is needed from the universe. Okay, one more. The star, beautiful. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, this shouldn't surprise you. Six of Wands coming through here is like victory. I think you're used to having victory, but I think this victory is in the sense of like, you're not just going to have your regular type of victory. you're going to have victory over things fully unexpected that broaden your life and eradicate certain regrets or certain questions about other priorities you didn't cultivate in your life. And I have something amazing to say about that, but we'll get there in a second with the Seven of Crystals. I think that you are an incredibly wise counselor, and I think you're also incredibly plugged in to, maybe because you've developed certain tools and understandings of kind of not literal like language like English or Spanish, but like language of the universe, or spirituality or whatever, some more interesting language you've really downloaded and understood and fleshed out and have connection to a certain way of understanding things, a way of a framework to work through that's helped you to always source what you need from the universe, and that is something that's also made you the master and authority you are, as you have this deep wisdom within you, because you've spent a lot of time, whether it's in this lifetime or another, developing this framework of understanding how to find the right guidance for the right thing at the right time. And you're just like, it's a beautiful energy you have, and it's a very winning energy. But right now you're feeling like, here's the thing, is like, you're suddenly having this moment of like, maybe I'm impressive in certain areas, but I've completely done nothing. Like, you feel this way, and it's not true. I've done nothing to transform my life in terms of broadening my life. But what you're not seeing is there are actually a lot of different things, much more diverse, varied set of things that you've actually, on a much more sort of internal level, and maybe subtly externally, even if it hasn't been a main focus, there have been a lot of diverse things you have invested in your life. And there's something right now where you're not seeing that you've done that. And so you're feeling maybe stuck, like you haven't had certain transformations you should have had in life. But this is sort of a delusion. It's not real. And you will see when this all manifests, and what we've already talked about, that a whole new connection to hope for your future is going to seed into you, because something shatters this construct of where certain regrets are held, and where this inability to see how well you actually have transformed, or where you are in life, and how diversely you've invested in priorities in life. That there's something disillusioned there, and that's going to be shattered when this all does kind of come into fruition. And just going back to everything we said, I don't want to review it all again, but like it's completely opening you up to a new connection to how you're seeing your future and how you're connecting to your future, and a deep, beautiful hopefulness around your future. So, oh my gosh, I mean, I don't know what's going on here. I don't usually get super emotional in readings, but like, I had points where I just had to move on because I was going to start crying. So I don't know what that means for you guys, but I just see, just really gorgeous things coming through for whatever manifests in the next month connected to what you're associating this with. So anyway, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Gorgeous reading. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up or a little comment, and definitely subscribe if you want more of my readings and are not subscribed yet. And hopefully we'll see you in more. All right, see you guys.